Hey guys, this is the Let's Get Ballyer Talking podcast. I'm Riker, my pronouns are he, him.
I'm Sal, my pronouns are they, them.
I'm Brian, my pronouns are he, him.
I'm Dan, I go by any pronouns.
Yeah, so this podcast is going to be bringing to light some of the issues and aspects of being part of the LGBT community, both within Ballyfermot, which is our area, and the surrounding area of like Dublin and Ireland in general as well. We'll be bringing forward our own experiences and our own stories, things that we've seen, things that we've heard as well. So
the topics we discuss on this podcast will be colour coordinated. Typically, most of them will be assigned to each colour that is represented on the rainbow, which is usually the symbol of pride. Obviously, the final one being called Pride, which will lead into our actual event here at Familibase Ballyfermot, will be held on Pride morning, June 29th for this year in 2024. Every year, the Familibase organise a breakfast that is based on celebrating community and celebrating pride in the community. And if you want to come in, we'll have a stall there. If you have any questions of stuff, whether it's being discussed on the podcast, if it's personal issues, or if anything you just want to ask us, feel free to let us know, because we'll all be there, hopefully. It is an open table, so literally just come up. There's no queue or any sort of stupid thing you need to do. Just come up and ask us, please.
Keep in mind, this is all just a bit of fun. We're not professionals. We're just speaking about things that affect us and our own experiences. So with that being said, I hope you enjoy, and on to the episode.
So in the LGBT flag, there's all these colours, but they actually all have meanings. And red in the LGBT flag stands for life, which is why we decided to cover general health and pregnancy and anything associated with it in this episode. And you'll find that as a running trend in most of our episodes. Like, the colours will coincide with what the colour stands for, and then the topics we cover will coincide with those topics. So does anyone want to start anywhere specific, or?
I mean, I guess I could talk about like hormones.
Right.
I would know about that.
So we'll start it off with like hormone therapy and the likes, which, if anyone doesn't know, is an issue specifically around trans people when you're talking about the LGBT community.
Yeah, so to be honest, the process of getting hormones in this country is not great at all. From what I've heard from like other trans people I know, they just like if you're trying to get hormones for like a doctor or something, it's just a terrible experience. You get put on a waiting list that is several years long. The doctors will usually ask you like really strange questions about your sexuality, and it's just like, in the end, even if you do get hormones, like they might give you the wrong dose or something like that, because like they don't even really know what they're talking about. So for most people, they'd have to go like getting their hormones another way, which like what some would call DIY HRT. So basically, like the way I did it, I have like friends who have done this whole thing before, so like they already know all this, and they got me in contact with someone who was able to order the hormones and bring them in, like get them ordered from England, I think it is. So I just paid them it was like €60 for like a vial of estrogen. Yeah, so like it's still not ideal, because like the people I was talking to are like real people. They have stuff to do. Like, it's not like they can't always respond to me, but it's still a lot better than like having to go through the medical system, honestly.
Yeah. You know, I definitely agree. Like, it was the same when I went for hormone therapy. I was put on the list in Ireland, taken off it, put on the list in England because apparently it's quicker, and then I got taken off that because they had too many people as well. But like, in saying that, even the process of trying to get put on that list, like I was only 16 or 17 initially, I think. And like super invasive questions they're asking you. And some of the questions don't even like have anything to do with being trans. It's just it almost feels like when you're sitting there, it feels like they're trying to find ways to prove you're not trans. Like, it's, and like in saying that, like I was 16, 17 when I went for it. I'm 23 now, still not a fucking word from them. So I do agree with you in that sense. It's, I think the the hormone therapy system in Ireland is very outdated, and I don't think anyone's really looked at it in a good few years.
No. But I will say, I know one of my friends who has gotten a real benefit out of it. So he was only on the waiting list for a year and a half, I think it was. By the end of it, he was able to legally change his name within the time, and he's been on T now for 2 years, and he's only 23.
Oh,
So when it walks,
Yeah.
and it walks really well. Like he would have went onto the list when he turned 18, and he's 23 now. He's already been 2 years on T. Like, so.
Yeah, it's very unreliable, because you'll hear people go through transitioning like super fast, and everything is brilliant for them, and then there's people like myself and like so many others that I know that are just waiting and hearing nothing. Like, and I think it's a case of like the longer they kind of leave you waiting, it's like, oh well, we don't really have to get in contact with them because they haven't like gotten onto us about it.
Yeah.
Like, they're not pushing for it, so
But even if you don't get it, like, you know, like I wouldn't know from myself, but like if you weren't to not get it, it wouldn't invalidate you though.
No, it's not invalid. Well, right, so
It's like a personal validation.
yeah, it helped with personal validation over like peer validation.
Yeah.
So like obviously the people I surround myself with, they see me as a fella, but like I look in the mirror, I don't see myself as a fella, even though I know I am one, because I'm just thinking about the fact that like biology and what that says about me and all that.
You look at the fact that you have boobs and a vagina instead.
Yeah, that
You know?
doesn't help. It's not ideal. Like, it's more so personal. Like, and that's why most people do go through with actually physically transitioning, is for personal.
Yeah.
Like being okay with their own.
Especially with like how I would see it in my media, it would be a lot of people detransitioning. I get a lot of coverage of that.
And
it's like, oh, people who regret taking it.
Yeah, and see, I think the issue there is, like, because a lot of people post their transition stories online, but the stories that gather like so much attention is the detransitioning one.
Yeah.
And I don't think that helps. Like, I'm not saying people shouldn't post their detransitioning stories at all, but I think that it gets blown up by the media way more than like transitioning videos, and that doesn't help for people that are fighting the system and trying to get the help that they need. Because people are looking at these detransitioning videos being like, oh, well, you're just going to regret it. Like,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Puts a stigma in, like.
And that's not on anything. That's not anything on the people that detransition. It's just the way that society picks it up.
Oh yeah, because it helps them argue their point. It's like, oh well, if these people didn't like it, then why
no
would
one's
you?
gonna like it. Yeah, no, 100%. I agree with that fully. And like another thing that comes with transitioning is like there's so many health complications because of like maybe lack of studies of surgeries, and not even lack of studies, just kind of like it's still a very unstudied field, the surgeries. Yeah. Some more than others, and even obtaining those surgeries is like, it can seem nearly impossible sometimes.
A lot of doctors won't touch off you if it's put across as a gender reconfirming surgery. A lot of doctors don't want to go near you. Yeah. Because they don't want to be the ones that, like, in a case if something did go wrong, they don't want to be the one that
did that, you know.
Yeah, like messed up the trans kids, do you know what I mean?
I think it's just the fear of like mutilating such an important like part of the body that if it's fucked up, it's fucked up permanently.
Yeah.
No, fully. And I don't actually think I know like any trans people that have gone through with the surgeries that have gotten it here in Ireland. No. Or like I think
it's
I know
always
maybe,
in like Scotland.
I think I know one that went to England, and
I know
everyone else has gone elsewhere. Turkey's a big one. Yeah. No, seriously, Turkey's a big one.
Has he done a bit down there?
No, there's a whole health centre. There's this one really good doctor. I cannot remember his name for the life of me. And the whole part of his health centre of the building is dedicated solely to gender reconfirmation surgeries. And he does top surgeries. I don't know if he does bottom surgeries. I say he probably does. Yeah. I know so many people that have gone to his team of doctors and have gone to Turkey to get top surgery done.
And just for anyone who might not know, because God knows who's listening to this podcast, but top surgery would refer to either removing or adding breasts to a body. And bottom surgery would
either
be the bottom half.
Yeah, either a breast reduction or
adding.
Yeah, a boob job.
Addition.
Breast addition.
Oh, they just like attach them on, just like.
Yeah. So they take my ones off and give them to you.
Oh.
No.
Sharing is caring.
That's misinformation. That's not how it works. It's not how it works. You can't transfer body parts. So, like another health complication that can come with the likes of surgeries and stuff is like, say a trans man would get pregnant, he'd actually probably run into like if he was to get pregnant and have a child, there's very, very, very few doctors that would be willing to remove or alter parts of his reproductive system, considering he has given birth. Like, it's kind of viewed as a way of, oh well, you've used it, so who's to say that you're not going to use it in the future?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that can be like a very big thing. Like, I remember when I was a young trans person, like the first thing I was told by older trans people was don't get pregnant, because
That's
they
the first
won't
thing
do
I was
anything for
told
you.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They won't do anything for you if you get pregnant as a trans man. Which I think it's definitely an issue, and it's not a fair way to look at it. But it's just the way it is.
Yeah. No, well, I was told the same thing as well.
Yeah.
And the problem that happened with me then was trying, because when I did get pregnant, it was very much so I was having to reaffirm myself as a non-binary person that was pregnant, because everyone was like everyone looks at you then and they're like,
oh, but you have a baby.
women have kids.
Yeah, and I think
You
that's
can't say you're a man and have a kid. That's not how it works. And it's like, well, sorry for you. Like,
yeah.
Like,
Well,
that was really tough then. And like all throughout my pregnancy, the whole lot, it was all the same. And now my child is 2 years old, and it's still to this day, it's like, oh yeah, you have a kid, but I thought you weren't a woman. And it's like, I'm not a woman, but I can still have a biological child.
Yeah, you can still use your reproduction system.
Yeah, and it is like, it's horrible stigma, because it's really, demeaning isn't the word that I'm trying to look for. Like, invalidating.
Yeah.
Dehumanizing.
It would fall under that as well, like, because you're trying to express yourself and be true to yourself so that you can be happy, and then anything you're hearing is just, oh well, you've had a kid, so.
Yeah.
And I think pregnancy in general in the LGBT community is like, it's almost taboo to talk about.
Yeah, it's real.
Good! We fucking hate it.
Ryan has a fear of pregnant people.
Yeah.
Just thinking of the movie Aliens. Chest popper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how he thinks pregnancy is. Ryan is a gay
But
man,
like-
so I mean, he's not going to have to worry about it.
But if you're looking at the most least taboo thing in the LGBT community is gay men adopting a child.
Yeah.
Anything outside of that, or like a lesbian couple.
Even in saying that, like, that's...
I could still have a donor mother as well. Like, I could still have, like, you know, where like they have like sperm donors and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
I think I have a
You
surrogate.
can have a
wife.
surrogate, yeah.
Yeah. So that is a thing. Like, people can volunteer for that.
Oh
But like,
yeah.
even in saying that, like, that's the least taboo thing, it's still taboo.
Oh yeah.
Like people still argue that, like, a child needs a mother and a father,
Yeah.
which is stupid, because then you look at, like, single parent
Single
families.
parenting.
Like, what are you going to start demeaning them because the father or the mother isn't present? Like,
I am doubly demeaned because I'm a non-binary single parent. Woohoo!
Repent your sins.
but yeah, no, I do think pregnancy in general is very taboo. And
Yeah.
it shouldn't be, because, like, it's not taboo for a straight family to have kids.
So why does that have to be
So-
taboo for us? Like?
No,
Yeah.
but the adopted kids need a father and a mother figure, or else they'll be confused about their identity.
And also, I need to say
I'm
this.
still confused about my identity. I had a mother and a father. Like,
A child that has two
Are
gay
you
parents.
sure I'm gonna gaslight you on it?
A child that has two gay parents, like, that does not mean that child is going to be gay.
Modern Family,
That
perfect
is-
example.
That is like the silliest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Oh yeah.
I know a lot of people with gay parents, and they're completely straight.
I think most people I know that are gay have straight parents.
Have straight parents, yeah.
Yeah.
On the topic of trans people getting pregnant, they're kind of known in the community as seahorse dads,
Yeah.
because if anyone knows, Ryan clearly doesn't
Do
know.
you know why they're called seahorses?
No, I just
Right.
think a little seahorse.
So yeah, seahorses, like in the ocean, the male is the one that gets pregnant,
Oh.
Yeah.
and gives birth. The male seahorses get pregnant and give birth. So trans men that get pregnant, they're called seahorse dads.
Because it's the male that gets pregnant.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that makes a lot more sense. I still
You're
think
just giggling too.
Yeah, because it's a seahorse. Like,
But that's where that term comes from, and I think it's very cute. Like,
Yeah, no, it
it
is.
is.
it is very cute.
I like.
I hate the ocean, but like, it's very cute.
But you like the seahorses.
And it's kind of a nice way to say, like, oh, it's a man that's pregnant. It's just a nicer way to kind of
Yeah, because
Yeah,
most
that's it,
people,
you
when
know?
you say, oh,
a pregnant
a
man.
pregnant
they're like,
man. Yeah.
Say seahorse dad, they're gonna giggle in the corner. Anyone have anything to add on pregnancies before I move on? Because I'm out of pregnancy questions.
Do you ever
I
want
don't
kids?
know what contraception is, let alone.
That's not what we're talking about. I just asked, did you want kids?
Oh, do I want kids?
Oh, that's a good question, kind
Yeah.
of, just to ask around the table.
Like,
Like,
as a gay
as-
man, do you want kids? Would you want kids?
I think the good universe version of me would absolutely be more than happy. Like, I would dream of being like, oh, happily married husband with a child, maybe two, maybe we're gonna have one each, you know. So, so his family bloodline doesn't end, but mine doesn't either. So we have our favourite children.
Right.
We both rival them against each
never
other.
have kids, right?
But yeah, that's so like I would imagine my picture perfect life. I'd say would be that. If not, I don't think I am capable as a parent, let alone as a
That's
gay
fair.
man.
So like, in saying that, you are still very young. I know I said we were in our 20s, but I lied. Ryan is actually a baby.
Liar!
Still only 18.
Still only a
No.
baby.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's like, obviously you have a kid, but would
Yeah.
you consider having more?
At the minute, no. You see, I didn't come out until after I was pregnant.
Right.
So it was, I got pregnant in the March, and it was the June, I think. It was 2 weeks before Pride
Right.
that I came out as non-binary.
Yeah.
So that like really screwed me over.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? If I could go back and do it again, I would have left it.
Yeah.
Now that he's here, I love him, but
Yeah,
I
of
had to
course.
go through so much
To get.
as well as be
Yeah.
pregnant.
Yeah, and
what I
it's
mean?
a lot, like coming out while pregnant.
Yeah.
So you're dealing with like the pregnancy.
But also coming out as non-binary and then getting a very, very feminine body because of a
Because of the
pregnancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't great. But like I've come to terms with it now. I probably wouldn't have kids. I wouldn't have another one until I got all my ducks in a row, get my surgeries done,
Yeah.
and get everything finished. Like
I understand that, because I guess I'm kind of in a similar boat. Like right now, no, I wouldn't have kids.
No.
But like, who's to say that if I fully transition and I'm happy with myself down the line, that I wouldn't be like, do you know what? Yeah, I have a kid.
Yeah.
Like, because I think,
Now, for you, would you get a surrogate mother?
yeah, I'm not giving birth.
Okay.
That is gone the second I can get rid of it.
So you won't be a seahorse.
No, I would not be a seahorse dad. Look, seahorse, ocean, me not like ocean.
No seahorse.
No seahorse. But I always say I don't want kids, right? But who's to say down the line that I won't be like, do you know what? I'll have them. If there was a situation of like adopting a child and my heart really went out to the child, and I wanted to help, I wanted to be a parent for this child.
Yeah.
Sure, I would never give birth, never.
I wouldn't either, to be honest.
Would you not, Ryan? But I don't see myself having kids. But like at the end of the day, who knows? Do you know? Dan, would you ever have kids?
No, I don't feel like I would be a very good parent. I mean, maybe in the future, yeah, like you said, I might change my mind, but right now I don't have my shit ready.
Do you know what? No, I'm very much the same. Because I'm nowhere near mentally stable enough to take care of myself, let alone a baby.
I forgot that thing. Oh.
So I get where you're coming from.
I think a lot of people's view on that as well is like, I have no idea. A lot of people who aren't straight are very much so on the terms of, I don't know if I want to have kids, I don't know if I'll ever want kids, but if I have a kid, hey, I guess I have one.
Yeah, because you're naturally going to be in this, obviously this day nowadays, it's like, get your shit together or else you're not going to have a kid.
Yeah.
Like, you want a better life for them, that's always going to be the main priority for us as
Exactly.
parents, that you want something better than what you have already.
I should have listened to Ryan's advice before I got pregnant.
Oh, Jesus.
And
If only I was there.
on the topic of wanting kids and not wanting kids, people's opinions on whether contraception is still important in the LGBT relationships.
Yes.
Once again, what's contraception?
Contraception would mean any form of birth control.
So for men it would be condoms, and then for female there's the female condom, the pill, the patch, the injection, the IUDs. You can either get the copper coil or there's another one. It's just a hormonal coil, but it's like flexi.
See, all of this is completely foreign to me. I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah,
know
because you
idea
wouldn't
of
need
it.
to
I wouldn't need
know about
to
the
know
female
care about.
contraception.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Or
is
even
fine.
even the male one in general. I just can't imagine putting rubber over your willy. Like.
Now that's actually very interesting, because like, even obviously as a gay man, pregnancy's not going to happen.
Yeah, but STD
But
is.
STDs are. So like, is that something you think about? Or?
When if I was with a man and I'd be ready to have that sort of thing, I would obviously have to do so much research. And I feel like I want to make sure that if the choice is good for me, I'm not just doing it out of desperation or I want to try it. Yeah. I want to have this experience with a person that I trust.
But
I don't want to not only harm myself but harm them as well.
Yeah.
So I would absolutely be like up at 4 a.m. and be like, what's a condom? Like,
what is a condom?
No, because like I would have no clue about what to do. Like I don't want to go up to the chemist and be like, get that place, can I?
Yeah.
Like they're gonna be looking. It's like, what's this for? It's like, what do you
What
fucking
you
think?
think?
What's fucking think? Like,
that, in fairness, I'm terrified of going.
No, especially seeing in the group chat. It's like there's flavour ones. I was like, there's flavour. Like
the lube on it is flavoured.
Yeah.
What? How does it make that stuff? It's rubber.
Yeah, but no, the lube. There's lube on a
So on a condom, there's lube.
Yeah.
So that you're not putting dry rubber.
That's what I don't know none of this shit.
Yeah,
I was
that's
going
fine though, because you've never
like,
been in that situation.
Yeah, like sex for me was just them hugging it under the covers, like they're just
oh baby. Right, we know Ryan's stance on contraception. Anyone else have anything to say about
any experience?
Yeah, I mean, well, see, contraceptive is also used as like I initially went onto the pill because I had extremely heavy periods.
Yeah.
I didn't use contraceptive as a contraceptive.
Mm-hmm.
I used it to control my periods.
Yeah.
And I still do, as much as I have the IUD now, so I have the Kylena, so that's the smaller one.
Right.
So that's the one that you can get if you haven't had a pregnancy. Because the thing with the copper coil is because it's bigger, it won't go into an open cervix. So when after you've had a kid, your cervix is like a bit stretchy.
Right.
So they're able to get the copper coil in. So the Kylena is like this little plastic flexi one.
Right.
So it lasts for 3 years instead of 5, or is it 5 instead of 7? I'll check that. It's either 3 instead of 5 or 5 instead of 7.
Yeah.
And because it's like a flexi one, it can go into the cervix that hasn't been opened by a pregnancy.
Yeah.
So that's the one that I got.
Right, because you had a.
I had a cesarean.
section.
Yeah. So that's the one that I have currently, and like that's it. I still wanted it to control my periods because I have such irregular cycles. Like I could be 21 days 1 week and 75 the next.
Yeah. Now in fairness, I'm the exact same. Like I've always been irregular. But I kind of use it more as hormones, just trying to keep them under control, stuff like that. Like contraception, I believe, is important in any relationship, whether you're LGBT or straight, because regardless of whether you can get pregnant or not,
or whether you
STDs are still a very real thing. Yeah, and I don't know. I think being safe is important.
It's better than just saying, "Oh, wash yourself," because
Yeah.
I don't know what's underneath there.
No, but you're completely fair on that. Like you don't know what's underneath there, especially like the likes of people that are single. And if you're sleeping with multiple partners, you don't know who they've slept with.
You don't know what
they've done, and it's not putting it like they don't know who you've slept with and who you've done either.
That's what
Do you know
I've
what I mean?
seen from like my community, for example. Like obviously the topic between them is that after you're being with your partner for years, that's like your only sexual partner. Would you risk having unprotected sex? And I'm just here thinking to myself, E. coli exists, like that. Once that gets into you, you're a bit sick.
Yeah.
You're a bit sick. So even if you've been with that partner for years, yes, you will confirm to yourself that you don't have STDs unless they're cheating. But we presume in this perfect scenario, you aren't cheating, you are happily like engaging together regularly in that altercation. Would you risk would you risk having unprotected sex? And they're all like, well, yeah, I'd like to have that experience with my partner. And I was like, sorry, but like it's up the tube, like like there's still dirty little bacteria down there.
No, but like I wouldn't like even the likes of UTIs.
Yeah.
So many UTIs come out of having sex with people. It's still bacteria being shoved up a hole that shouldn't be there. Do you know what I mean? So
stay away from that.
But even at that, the likes of your contraception, your condoms especially, stop that from happening.
Yeah.
Because there's no mix of stuff down there. Do you know what I mean?
Man, there should be more contraception for males.
Honestly,
there should be.
Yeah.
Like
they're working on a bar for men though.
Oh no.
A bar?
Yeah, the bar.
The bar, you get a bar in your arm.
What does that do?
So the bar, it's a little plastic bar shaped thing, and it has hormones in it, so it goes on your arm, kind of there, just under the skin, and it sends hormones into your body to stop you from getting pregnant.
No,
So
I'd be like feeling like it's under my skin, it's under my. I'd literally be like that.
Oh yeah, no, in my brain, how can something here stop me getting pregnant here? It doesn't make sense.
That's
why
why
I have.
why is it in my arm?
Yeah, but that's why I have the IUD, because it's in here, and I know it stops me getting pregnant.
Oh!
Jesus!
Speaking of that, getting tested for STDs and
Very,
stuff like that.
very important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Very
that
important.
looks terrifying. The only episode I've ever seen of something related to that was Love Hate, where Niji gets that fucking.
I wouldn't trust anything I've seen on Love Hate, man.
Have you
No.
ever been tested, actually?
I've been tested, yeah.
Have you been tested, Dan?
No.
Have you?
No.
No.
Obviously
I
not.
have as well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not as, I don't think it's as, obviously it's still awkward, but I don't think it's as awkward for
People born female.
people born
Yeah.
female
Yeah,
than it is for
because
people
you
born
don't need
male.
to be like for me, obviously the only fucking media example I have is just getting like a pole straight down there. So like, that's what I'm terrified. Like, you have to be awake and well. That's not even numb. They just stick that in, and I'm like, no.
They don't stick
I
a
would
pole
actually-
in.
They
It's
don't,
like
they
a
don't
cotton
stick it
swab.
all the way in.
Yeah, but still, it's not. It's nothing. It should not go near there. I understand they're just swabbing it and stuff, but like, no, I would be like, I would literally jump. I would physically jump. Like, you know.
a cartoon, he jumps out on the spot.
All you can see left is a puff of smoke and a round shaped hole in the wall.
That's what I literally would be like.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, is there any other solution? Can I just like spit on something? You could just take saliva.
No, because they have to take it from the area that you're testing.
Oh no!
I mean, you can get STDs in the mouth and throat and things like
Yeah,
that.
I know that from
So,
like
yeah.
oral contact. But then like, if I was wearing contraception, would I don't have to do that, or do I still need to get tested?
It's always good to get tested because, again, no contraceptive is 100% safe. It's like 90%, it's like whatever.
But can
Nope.
she just like, I don't know, he or she, can they just like I don't know, tap the top or something? Like, I'm done.
Up the top.
Like,
What?
not anything else in there. That does not need to go in there. That's what terrifies me. Anything down the pee hole.
Yeah, there you go.
No, that's a no thank you from me.
That's fair enough.
That's like grotesque horror. Like we already watched bodily horror. Women
That's a
exist.
soft track.
I will tell you though, as you get older, it kind of gets easier. You should just go and get it done. Yeah, because
It's less scary.
yeah,
You just get used to it. It's like, right, yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Can I not like numb it? Can I like?
they won't in case they
It
on the very small chance that they hit off something they shouldn't. They can't numb the area, but also it doesn't hurt. It's not like
I don't think it's a pain.
it's
thing,
just
right?
uncomfortable more than anything else because you know that it's there.
That area is highly sensitive.
I mean, I'm like completely desensitized to people being down on my downstairs
Yeah, you
because
had
of
a baby.
I had a baby, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does anyone feel like there's still stigma around STDs?
Oh yeah.
Specifically in our it's actually, do you know what, it's specifically targeting the gay community.
It's a game.
Oh, yeah.
The gay
Yeah.
man community.
Well, sure, even just looking at it, look at the HIV and AIDS.
Yeah.
Is still looked at as a gay
As a
man
gay
thing.
thing, yeah.
Even though nowadays, based on statistics, more straight
people.
yeah, more straight couples have contracted HIV and AIDS because they practice unsafe sex.
Yeah.
Than gay couples do.
Yeah.
Like,
But statistically, I think LGBT people get tested more than straight people.
yes.
Um,
I know many of my friends who are straight that have never been tested.
Same as.
I've been tested a few times.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of my straight friends who have never or haven't even thought about going to get tested either.
Like the reason I got tested was mainly for my own brain because I scared myself one day. I was like, what if I actually secretly have an STD just out of nowhere?
Yeah, because you can have asymptomatic
Yeah.
STDs.
So
as
I
well.
wanted to be sure, you know.
Yeah.
So
But I think that's, and again, you're going into there's a bigger kind of singles culture when it comes to LGBTs, a lot more like kind of friends with benefits rather than relationship type of thing.
definitely, and that's actually really big in the LGBT community as well. Is like hookup culture.
Yeah, hookup culture, the whole thing of, oh, I don't have a partner, but I do have 6 friends with benefits going at the minute, and we're all friends with each other type thing.
Yeah. Right. So if we all go back a few years, Ryan a few less years than the rest of us.
Sure.
Secondary school education for sex ed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Non-existent.
from my personal experience, like the LGBT community came up once, and it was because I was in the class, and it was literally there are gay people, lesbian people, and bisexual people, and some trans people, and that was it. There was no sexual education for the LGBT community, despite the fact that there was a good few LGBT people in that school. And like we did our like wellness week, and we had our LGBT people come in and talk, but it was never about sexual education. It was just being, these are gay people. Gay people are good.
Yeah. Do you have any gays in the class? I'm gay.
Any gays?
And you get gay. You
look
get gay.
Yeah, I mean, I went to an all-girls Catholic school.
Yeah, I can imagine that's worse. I went to a mixed school, so I can imagine that yours had probably even less.
Yeah, no, we went to an all-girls Catholic school, so it was very much so, this is a penis, this is a vagina, there you go. But like the even the whole kind of the sexual education part of the sex ed, it was nothing. It was just, this is how you put a condom on a penis, but kind of don't do it. Do you know that type of way? There was
my favourite is still those videos of like sex ed from like way back when, and it was like, if you have sex you'll die.
Oh,
they're my favourite. That would have worked on
That's the rule I go by. But yeah, like for me there was absolutely nothing. Even in our final year of school, talking to Stuart about, and he was like, I wanted to start introducing more sort of like personal general things, because obviously we have a class where it was like SPHE or something, right?
Yeah.
40 minutes about mental health. It was whatever he was scripted by the school to say.
Yeah.
So instead of that, he literally just had general conversations. It was like, how are you keeping this week? Like, what he's all up to? Like, he was open about it. He was like, I want to actually start getting you like ready for the actual work, because like obviously all your conversations are going to start helping you out. Like, it's okay to start opening up to someone about it. But he wanted to implement that into like the actual school, like, do you know the way like sex ed would be like an important thing. Like we tried it during lockdown. There was 1 week of it, and that was it. That was literally
you had
just
wellness week.
It was an awareness week, but it was more about like revenge porn, because that's like a huge thing like that's a huge thing for us nowadays. But nothing about sex, absolutely nothing.
And for anyone that doesn't know what revenge porn is, it's basically when, like, I'll use an example. Say you send explicit photos to your partner, and then you break up with them, and then they go sending it around to everyone. Stuff like that.
Or if there's a video sexual acts that's been taken and things like that, and they use it
as like blackmail
to stop you from doing something.
That would be revenge porn.
Yeah, but there was even, I went in like another talk for like college. Even going and talking in there to one of my old teachers, she was like, yeah, there's absolutely nothing. Like we literally had gay week, and we literally, like, cause it was so bad in that school, for example, like we used to have like a wall where you put up like art and stuff. There was barely any art, and the art would get destroyed by every student in the building.
As you do.
So they forced painting a mural onto it, and then people obviously keep chipping away at the mural. Right? The typical stuff. But that's also because there's a lack of awareness in the school. Like I went in, I think 1 week for student week, and it's unironically the same class that I'm taking now.
Oh yeah, because you were taking.
So they took all the whole talk from me about it, and they were all really well informed. They were all like quiet towards the end, instead of just being at the start. It's like, what's a gay person? I was like,
what's a condom?
Brothers and sisters, you are all like 15, 16. Like surely you have seen a gay person. Like
I promise you know at least one gay person.
Not pointing at the one in the back there with very long nails. But yeah, like even like like the one teacher talked, she was like, literally come in during the week and or like just contact us, and we will absolutely hire you for like all them talks, please. We have no one here who's educated on the matter and stuff. And I was like, well, yeah, obviously you have the excuse of, the teachers don't know about it, so they shouldn't teach it. But there's also, shouldn't there be a training program for that?
Shouldn't there be a teacher who was training it? At least one teacher who was training it.
Because like schools have chaplains still. Like they still have chaplains to teach about religion. Yeah, they have a sole room dedicated to religion, but then not for like, obviously career guidance counsellors are your therapists in the school, but they're not for that. They don't care about that. They care about shipping you off to college.
Now my career guidance counsellor is
my one told
Miss
me
O'Reilly, if you're listening to this, I miss you.
And actually, in all fairness, the best sex ed we ever did was in our religion class in TY. Because we weren't, because obviously when you're in TY you don't actually do religion.
No, not a hope.
So that used to be, our miss used to let us use it as a free class on one day. She was like, I have this thing from you towards for SPHA. I want you to take a look at it and tell me what you think. I will just do the class of what I'm gonna do. And that was the best sex ed class I've ever had. We played games. we learned
Spot the STD.
I learned all the names of the STDs in that class. I didn't even realise there was so many.
It's like
Do you know that
it's
type
like
of
pin
way?
the tail on the donkey,
Yeah.
but it's pin the sperm on the egg.
Like we straight, and I was all doing like
Pin the
games and
condom on
things
the
like
penis.
that. You know, like we were
Catch the
all.
chlamydia.
But like we even going into 5th year, then we all became silent all over again, and then going into SPHE in 5th year,
Yeah.
we were made, you weren't allowed to sit down till you said penis and vagina, and we were all 16, nearly 17, and we still couldn't say penis and vagina. I think 3 of us got it at the start, and then everyone else stood up and was like, no, I'm not doing that.
I'm not
I'm
saying
not saying
penis.
that. And I was in a mixed skill then at that point, so they
Right.
were like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Do you know
Not
what I
for
mean?
the girls.
Yeah, and
Cut it
yeah,
back.
literally not in front of the girls. Like,
Cut it in the back. Miss, can I say wheelie?
Right. What about your sexual education experience in school, Dan?
Yeah, they never really talked about LGBT people at all. I don't
Yeah.
know if they had any out people. We did learn like a decent amount, I think. I remember learning about periods and being like, damn, women have it hard.
Yep. That's fair. But like in saying that, like you mentioned there, I don't think we have any out people. I don't think there should have to be people that are
Well, yeah.
LGBT in the class for them to teach about LGBT. 'Cause
No.
God knows how many closeted kids are in that class.
yeah.
Like I wasn't out when I was out to
Because it
people I
also
was-
feeds a huge stereotype that come with skills. Obviously, for example, is that you're at that age where you start experiencing puberty, and that's a huge fluctuation of emotions where you don't know where you are at the moment. You're just sort of like in this sort of not even spectrum, this limbo of what you are exploring and what you like. Like for me, obviously, it wouldn't have just clicked that like I'm a queer.
Yeah.
No, it took me a while to figure
yeah.
myself out, and then obviously researching into what I've missed so much about. It's like, oh my god, I'm this. So,
But like puberty starts as young as 10 for some people. Like, so I don't. Especially like even just in secondary schools and all, colleges as well.
Colleges
Do you
don't really cover much either.
But you see, and I think colleges kind of have this thing of, oh, we have Shag Week. No, Shag Week is let's play sex toy bingo and take the piss. And
it was like dildo Friday.
I know of one college.
I
And
found out about sex toys before you did contraception. Oh, that's bad, man.
I'm gonna I'm obviously I won't name drop the college, but I do know one that they had a consent talk, but they essentially just gathered all of the male students and was like, don't rape the women,
Oh God.
and that was their consent talk. You know what I mean? Because
women-
they didn't know how to go about
I mean,
it.
it works.
Yeah,
firstly.
but like they didn't know how to go about it, so that was their consent talk. Like even they struggle, and we're all a bunch of adults.
And I think
And we even still struggle to figure out
the
what
education
anything is.
system in this country is very much led by stereotypes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, when I obviously went into that classroom and gave the talk about like the LGBT for the first time, obviously most of them generally thought gay men were just drag queens. That's their first
Yeah.
prime
Yeah.
example of it.
But it is like gay men are drag queens. They're very camp. They're over the top when like.
And then the women are all just botch.
Oh, we're all
Yeah.
just butch
Yeah.
likes. That's
Yeah.
all that we are.
It's generally been our first session. As some of you will know, at the end of June, being Pride Month, there is a big parade on in town. But here in the Familibase in Ballyfermot, we do a little Pride breakfast morning.
Yeah.
Where our group will have an open table. If anyone would like to come in, feel free to come in. Ask us for more information about things we've covered. Ask us for our own personal experience. Just come get to know us if you want. Come in and grill us about things we missed or things you think are important to address. If you don't know anything about the LGBT community, come in anyways.
We'd
Don't
love to have you.
Like we'll sit there and yap to anyone. You don't understand. But come in, ask us questions, get to know us. Like we are real people. So anyways, that has been our first session. We're so sorry for rambling. But we're a little bit awkward. It's our first session. We'll probably be better next time. No, we won't. And that's us. See you
Yeah.
next time.
Day.
Day.